here's my galley box, and that is has its place in the there's the front of the GP, and then on the port side I've got access to my anchor warp, and on the starboard side, just in front of my bilge pump here, I've got my galley box. Now what I've done is I've resined a chock onto the floor here, and then built a support which is angled, so that the bottom is angled the same as the floorboard. The top then is level with that chock, so the box sits nice and level on the floor. So it's held down by this rope, which is anchored at the back of this chock, over this hook, through a fair lead and down onto a cleat, and that's what holds it down. So if I release that, pull that out of there, pull it out of there, unhook it from there, the galley box is now free to take from there and put on the benches to start cooking. Like these handles there, and on top I've just got this bungee which is hooked onto this fair lead, which is used to hold the thing down, and then I've just got this soft shackle on top which holds the lid on, so that pops out really easily, and that's just anchored at the back, and then the lid just pops off, and I can put that down the side, and this is a heat resistant material. And then this is the front, which I can also use as a work surface. And underneath, in here, I've got a sieve. I've got some pots of pepper and salt and things. In this box, I have got scissors, I have a gas lighter. But you have to remember to keep topping that up every so often, although it does last a while. And then I've got this flint, steel and flint, as a backup. So I've also got the matches, of course, and if they get soggy or run out of matches, this steel and flint is my backup. And I've just got a bag keep there if I have to. If I use anything that needs sealing afterwards. So I'll keep all that in fact I'll keep that out because I'm going to use that in a minute. So I'll keep all that in a Tupperware container to keep them dry. And then other things under here, I've just got pots of common things like salt, pepper, I've got chili flakes there, that is ginger powder, salt, paprika. In the Trangia, I've got my chopping board, I've got a lid which also covers as a frying pan, and I've got a kettle, 2 pans, which is standard Trangia. This is the Trangia 25, which is the bigger of the 2 Trangias. There's the Trangia 27, which is actually the smaller Trangia, which is a bit confusing. After using the spirit stove for quite a while, I did have a few scary moments with that, so in the end I decided to put the gas converter in. We've got the gas burner and this screw thread connector for a gas bottle, so that's now my preferred method of heating the Trangia. And it's also much more controllable, and you can get better results, in my opinion, with the gas conversion. Just screw that on there. Like so. so, and then that just sits at the side. So one of the joys of dinghy cruising is staying out long enough to warrant having something to eat. Now in my case that's a little bit complicated, which I won't go into detail now, but for me it's not just as simple as making a sandwich and bringing it with you. So plus, as I've already gone to the trouble of making a galley box, why not make my dinner on board? And also if you're staying overnight, then you'd want to do that of an evening, surely. So I am going to try and do a few made up recipes. I'm no chef, but they are based upon foodstuffs which don't need a fridge, which will last 2 or 3 days, even if opened, and also that you can make on one flame. So let's give it a go. Today I am going to use some rice noodles. So I can't have wheat, so pasta, which would be an easy option, is out of the question for me. So I'm having rice noodles. I'm having some peppers, and to put some protein in there I am going to chop up some hot dog sausages. And we're going to attempt to make this on one stove, cook it in the pan, eat it from the same pan, so there's less, you know, washing up to do as well, and hopefully it'll be fairly quick to make. And all we need is a few ingredients. So I've got a red pepper, a yellow pepper, I've got a bit of broccoli, I've got some curry powder, salt and pepper, some rice noodles, and a flame. In the front of the GP I've got this water bowser, and that's just, if I can show up there, it's just hooked onto these irons like that. And then we can take this out, and then don't make ankle walk round it, get rid of that. Then I've got a supply of water there with a tap, which is perfect. Right, so for this meal I'm going to use, because it is lunchtime, not dinner time, not evening time, so I'm going to use the smaller of the two pans. Let's put some water in. Okay, so a bit of water in. Burner going, so I'll switch that on. Get it going. Put Trangia on, and then to help that heat up, I'm just going to put the frying pan upside down on top. That will help it heat up a little bit quicker.
While the water was heating up, I chopped up half a red pepper, half a yellow pepper, and picked some broccoli florets, and I placed them all in the water. I added a good pinch of salt, I then added a layer of curry powder, mixed that in, I placed the lid on top and let it simmer for about 6 or 7 minutes.
It's boiling away nicely. Now what I want to do is add my rice noodles. The last bit of ingredient is a creamed coconut block. This is great because it doesn't need refrigerating, and it's like pouring coconut milk into your, when you make a curry. So what I'm going to do is chop. What I do here is chop the block off like so. Go back in the packet. Don't need to use it all. Right, and now put those in like so. And then it should thicken up the water a bit, make it a nice creamy texture. Make sure it fully melts, and then also we just give a second pass of curry powder. So do a little light sprinkling on top. Once that's done, mix in. So the noodles will soak up the water. It smells lovely. Of course, if you're vegetarian, this is all you need to do. However, just for a little bit of protein, make it into a bit of a bratwurst, I suppose. I am going to add some chopped up hot dog sausages. I'm going to chop these up and then here. Right. Of course, these hot dog sausages can be eaten cold, so they just need to be in for a few minutes. Well, yeah, no more than a few minutes just to heat up. The rice noodles have soaked up the water. The coconut block has thickened it up. Curry powder, 2 passings of curry powder, made it nice and tasty. So I'll just turn the heat off. There we go. Right, let's see what it tastes like. So now the lid of the galley box now becomes a tray. Put the things aside that I don't need. Then my Trangia handle. I've got my meal. Can be washed overboard. Fork. Bon appetite, everybody. Let's see what it tastes like. Yes, it's like a mild curry, which is what the intention was. That's very nice. It's very simple. So there's no onions in it, because I can't have onions. I actually follow a FODMAP diet. If you're a dinghy sailor and have to follow a FODMAP diet, and you want to eat out it's the right pain. It can be quite complex, difficult to find foods that you don't need to refrigerate, that you can store, that you can cook easily and quickly on one flame as well. Anyway, this has been a success. I shall go and enjoy the rest of my meal.